Hello, everybody, and of course, welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks with Ben and Josh, streaming on the one and only Kirk Minahan Show Network, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and of course, Rumble. Timeout Talks is brought to you by Chase and Throws Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, Make It Mac, and of course, we are proudly a part of the Kirk Minahan Show Network. I'm Josh, alongside here with Ben. We've got a jam-packed show today, Ben. Speed show, UFC 305, Olympic basketball, and Olympic sports just wrapping up this Sunday. We've also got bold NFL takes, preseason talk, some injuries to sprinkle in there for the NFL. Ben, I'm just ready to be back.
Always great to be back with you, Josh. And that's kind of what I've been feeling for football. We're right on the cusp of it, just ready for it to be back. Mentioned the preseason already. We're going to see a little stuff from the rookie quarterbacks, Josh. I know some people.
I don't know if Ben. Hold on, Ben. I don't know if you can hear me. Here we go.
Maybe we're back.
I think he's there. Yeah, the little couple. Let's see if we can get you up a little higher there. It's just glad to be back, Ben. And this is
Benny Buffer's come on, Josh.
Benny Buffer.
It was pretty tough to start it off.
Benny Buffer is
all right. No, I was just making fun of Drake May a little too. Only 6 snaps, Josh. What's going on? What's going on with that?
We're here. We're back.
All right, here we go. Try it again.
We'll try it again, Ben. It's sped up. Let's see if we can try to fix that as we can. But we're off. We're rolling. We're gonna start. Let's start Olympics, Ben. We'll start Olympics. We know, just gold came easy for this. For the U.S., I should say. I mean, winning the most medals, tying China with gold. Olympics wasn't super into it for me. Just had a lot going on. Summer, things speed up. But hey, Team USA is able to do it. They oust Serbia in a close game. Stephen Curry, great. Kevin Durant, great. Then, Simone Biles, a lot of the women winning gold for us. I even got into a little bit of water polo. It was just, I don't know. That was probably my favorite sport to watch, water polo. I know the men's U.S. team won bronze, so quick shout out to them, watching that on Sunday. But aside from that, the Olympics is here. It has passed, and I don't know. I'm going to give a hot take. I was talking, me and Jared were arguing, and I was saying somehow it got brought up. Like, the way that I view the Olympics, it's great, especially for most sports. That's like their bread and butter. For basketball, it's tough. I don't want to say participation award because I feel like that's such a slap in the face, but I don't view it as high as I would view a Euro Cup or a World Cup for players who, they're playing for their national team, or, as opposed from playing from the national team, going from a club team. I don't see it that way. I like the Olympics. I think it's fine. But again, I'm not like running around the streets of Boston saying, the Boston Celtics and Jason Tatum this and Jason Tatum that. And, we've got the best players. And we already know that. We know that Team USA is established as the best. They haven't lost since 2004, to my recollection. Just all around good performance. I know they got caught up in a couple games there that could have went. Hopefully we have Ben back here. Got caught up in a couple games there that for Team USA. There we go. I think we hear him good.
We'll see if that works.
Yeah, it works. It sounds good on my end. But yeah, Ben, just catching you up to speed here. Team USA, it's great. I'm not knocking them. I can't fully get into the Olympics in general. Team USA for basketball, I'm not going to view it up there with the World Cup. I know I sound crazy, but in the Jason Tatum sitting, I don't know. He needed to play more minutes. I know Jared and stuff, they can roll it around. Oh, they have a lot of talent, but he's clearly one of the best players there. And an interesting point here, Ben, does this kind of diminish Tatum's hype? He just won a championship. Everybody was pushing for him to be, the face of the NBA. And now, with the big dogs all on one team, it's kind of like a smaller fish in a bigger pond. I don't know. I don't buy too much into it. I still think Jason Tatum's a top 10 player. I still think he has a chance to be a top 5 player in the NBA once the torches are passed from LeBron James, Kevin Durant, Stephen Curry. But those guys they're at their end. You saw their Olympic run was great. Stephen Curry played great. Kevin Durant, one of the best Olympic players of all time. But I digress, Ben. Interesting way that Serbia and a couple, I know, South Sudan kept it interesting. Just, they shouldn't have lost. They didn't lose. We move forward.
Yeah. Josh, just before all that, too, shout out to water polo. I know you mentioned that water polo a little. There we go. F&B plays for France. They still don't win gold. I like that take. Monsters take. Always giving us nice takes over there. But I don't know, Josh. I like the Olympics. I'm a little more favorite to the Olympics. I like watching some of those events. Pole vaulting was one of mine too. So I'm a little, at the end, I was kind of like you. Yeah, pole vaulting was good. But at the end, I was kind of like you. I was kind of a little tired of it all. And let's kind of wrap this up. But I might have to agree with Jared on that one, Josh, too. I think, Tatum, everybody was yelling, why isn't he playing? He's got a lot of guys. I mean, he's got LeBron and Durant ahead of him. Those guys are older. Those guys aren't coming back for another Olympics. So this is their last time. Give them all the minutes. I don't feel, listen, Tatum's got already a gold medal. He's going to be the vocal point next time the Olympics come around in 4 years. It just wasn't his time. So wasn't his time, unfortunately. And he's just going to have to deal with it, and hopefully gives him a little bounce back. Hopefully gives him a little juice for next season, gives a little inspiration. So I don't think it was too bad, Josh. Look at all that talent. I mean, you got a lot of talent. It's a little different way, they play in the Olympics, play international basketball. A lot more big men play is valuable. So you got to get those bigger guys out there like Bam, Joel. The game's a little different than the regular NBA. So I'm giving it to. I'm gonna not go too crazy with the hate on that. I think, hey, maybe I would have liked to seen a couple more minutes, Josh, but I think it's not his time yet. Next Olympics, he's gonna be the star. He'll be the star, but you gotta give it to LeBron and KD.
Yeah, I mean, and we've got hostage take Curtis here. 2028 team will beat this team. All these young players not even in their prime. So I mean,
maybe I like that. Anthony Edwards.
It's an interesting debate because I know years ago people say, oh, the dream team would kill this team, or the dream team would get smoked. It's one of those arguments where you're never going to have the right answer. We could sit here and say the dream team had more talent. They were the best. Basketball was the best in the 70s and 80s and 90s. But at the same time, you look at now. There's a lot more global players this year in the Olympics, and within the past 10 years, there's been more NBA players who are international players playing in the Olympics. Back then, they didn't have as much. But again, it's all apples and oranges. It like Ben said, it was a great run. They won. It's like Jared said. We're sitting here saying, and he made a good point to me. I mean, we're sitting here saying, we're basically saying if they lose, that's a problem. So they did what they had to do. There could be if Embiid plays for France, or I don't know. I don't know. LeBron or Curry doesn't end up playing, things change. I still think that this team deserved it, and I'm going to go off on a hot take and say I think the Boston Celtics team, if they filled in for Team USA, I even still think they would win. Call me crazy.
Well, hot take right there. I know that was a big one over there. Yeah, Paolo, another one to let off the list right there. That's a good point from us. We got plenty of talent over there. He switched from Italy too. We could have had him on that Italy side. Probably could have used him a lot more. Could have been a star over there, but he chose the U.S. I get why, but it's a good point. 2028. That roster: Tatum, Edwards. Hopefully, Paolo gets there. Hopefully, Brown eventually gets his shot too. Paul George maybe makes his way back to the Olympics. From what some of these older guys heading now, maybe Paul George is a little more veteran presence on that 2028 team. So it's exciting for listen, Josh. We're in control of basketball. No offense. I know you mentioned the women's side too. Women's just been another gold medal, just so dominant. Yeah, I mean,
out by 1 point, I believe.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was a little close. Little buzzer beater from France. She had a nice little floater 3-pointer, but her foot was right on the line, so unfortunately didn't go to overtime. And I know, that was one of the toughest.
Tough way to lose.
Yeah, toughest beats and toughest way to lose I've seen in a while. But France, they shook it off. It was a great game. They gave it to the U.S. and the U.S. commended them, and So US was ready to go overtime, Josh. There, I remember seeing a couple of them. They thought she hit it. I mean, everything looked like it, but foot was on the line. So give it to the US. Give it to both US teams. Just dominant as always. And listen, Tatum's going to be there next year. Next time around, next year. Don't worry, Tatum fans. And like I said, hopefully this gives them a little more, juice for next season. Nobody remembers, Brown getting all those MVPs in the postseason, Finals MVP. This Olympics minutes, seeing all these guys go off, and hopefully that gives them a little more fuel to the fire just after that championship run.
Couldn't agree with Clustridge too. It's
I misread that. I thought you said they should never win gold again. I was like, wait a second. I agree. Yeah.
And no, he has not reached out, but that's okay. That's fine. I mean, Jake's a nice guy. Just hasn't reached out. That's fine. I'm not looking for it. Not looking for a handout or a reach out. But moving forward, NFL. Then we've got a lot of stuff going on to start off the season. As always, some injury woes. People know Jahmyr Gibbs. I mean, it just seems like it was DeAndre Swift 2.0 for them. Like, they can't figure it out for a running back. And hey, I like Swift, but when he's on the field, he's great. But it's just the issue of getting on the field, Ben. That's been a struggle. And of course, the big news out of today, Ben, wanted to get your thoughts on both of these. JJ McCarthy, I know he came out, he threw an interception, also threw touchdowns, looked pretty good, was going to kind of compete there with Sam Darnold. Now he's ruled out. Will this affect the team, Ben, at all? I mean, honestly, will this affect the team? Will this affect him this year? And to be honest, did you even see him beating out Sam Darnold as a starter?
No, I didn't see him beating out Sam Darnold as a starter. And Josh, come on, why are you leading off with the interception, disrespecting JJ McCarthy like that? He actually had a pretty good game. He starts off with the one pick, but he had a couple nice touchdowns, and I mean, just along with it, this was one of the guys I thought everyone had the lowest expectations for. Obviously, May, we were going to see 6 snaps. Can't really judge it off of that, so we're going to have to wait to see week 2 for him to give a real assessment. But McCarthy was the one who, that question prefaces, I thought he was just going to sit behind Darnold, get as much reps as he can, but he came out looking great. I mean, that was, before his injury, I thought he was going to give him a real shot, when the preseason ended, seeing these last couple games, if he could have stayed on that same progression. I said, hey, maybe start Sam Darnold and let JJ get after it a little earlier instead of letting him go the whole season. But obviously this injury sets him back, but I think the Vikings they should have been excited, and this is a tough injury, Josh, but I think they ultimately should still be excited. JJ McCarthy looked good in week 1, this tough injury, but just get him healed. Let Darnold do his thing. Unfortunately for the Vikings fans, it's over. The season's done. I know Jimmy put it in the group chat too, but I'll give Jeff credit. Someone tweeted, they just reposted a tweet. The Vikings have had a really rough postseason, off-season so far, and preseason leading up to it, just multiple injuries, the tragic death of the cornerback. It's just been a rough one. This JJ McCarthy injury topping it off. Just a lot of injuries had defense as well. I think the Vikings, unfortunately, just injuries already got them. Injury bug got them right now. So I think Vikings going to be last in that division. Bears, you got the Bears, Packers, Lions. Those teams are ascending, and I think the Vikings, unfortunately, just injury bug, bit them pretty early. And the Jahmyr Gibbs one, Josh, really tough. I mean, losing Swift, this is why you have that 1-2 punch, just in case of an injury like that. But they put a lot of stock into Gibbs, and I didn't see a reason why not. Obviously, Gibbs was one of the premier backs last year, so I don't fault him for this. This is just another one. It just stinks to see Gibbs was an exciting young guy to get out there. I was going to be excited to see what he could do in the second season, but I don't think it's as bad for the Lions, Josh. I think the Lions can. If we get a little trade deadline deal going, obviously, let's see how the season goes so far. Maybe you need to bring in some running back help later on in the season. If Gibbs isn't back anytime soon, it's not really looking like he is. I know some reports have said torn ACL, and he could be out for a little while. So I think the Lions ultimately. I think the Lions will ultimately be fine and still in the Super Bowl contention, Josh, but it's a big hit for that offense. They're going to need to figure out another way to utilize that run game.
100%, Ben. Get into a couple of your comments
here. We go.
This
from
has
Jackson.
been the talk of the
Yeah.
town. Jackson from Australia bringing it in here. I'm gonna let Ben kind of take it off, but Joe Milton, he was kind of the highlight at the game. I was there. I was live watching it.
He's
He
live.
had that shake off. He had that great run. The only real big play was that pass that he made to I forget who. I mean, he's playing with pretty much third stringers, fourth stringers.
You don't need to remember some of them. No offense.
Yeah, it is what it is. I apologize, but looked pretty good. Showed some shades of, Malik Cunningham. Just throwing that one out there. But it's preseason game 1. I know there's a lot of pressure, but I'm going to turn this over to Ben before I give my thoughts. But Joe Milton, Ben, 6th round pick. I mean, there's not. Hey, if he goes out there and plays great, that's fine. That's literally what you want.
Okay, no, I mean that's what you want. And the 6th round pick, like I mentioned a couple of weeks ago before too, that's the reason why you take a 6th round sort of lotto ticket on him. You just say, hey, if it works out, it works out. And if it doesn't, it's a 6th round pick. Why bother? Because he had this. I mean, he's had the talent everywhere he's went. When he went to Tennessee, I believe. I'm blanking on the first school he went. So he transferred, I believe it was Ohio State. One of them he transferred. It was one of those schools. He transferred Ohio State, Tennessee, and you can say it was Josh. I think Josh mentioned a couple of weeks ago too. He's a practice squad, hero. He's been just lighting it up at camps and everything. And why not take a risk on him? Michigan. Excuse me. The Michigan. I don't know how I messed that one up. Michigan. I know he lit it up in Michigan. Then went to Tennessee. Yeah, but he's just raw talent, Josh. Thank you, Hostage Take and Jackson. Hey, there we go. They got it right. But I think ultimately, this is working out perfectly for the Pats. I'm not saying this is the comparison, Josh. I know you threw Malik Cunningham out there, but I'm not saying he looked like him. I'm just saying some of the plays, it's a little Cam Newton-esque. He's able to make some of these plays on his feet that most guys do. He's got the same size as Cam Newton, same build. He's got the arm. Like you said, you saw a nice couple. Listen, I'm not saying he's Cam Newton. I don't want everyone's going to clip it and say, you said this. But I'm saying he plays like him a little. And that's exciting for the Pats. I mean, you just had Mac Jones for a little while. And listen, Brady was the GOAT, everything. But Brady didn't really run either. So you haven't really seen this in a Pats offense. So it's a little exciting for them to get some of that. And like I said, give all the competition to Drake May. Give him all the competition. Try to get him to be the best that he can be, Josh. So I think Pats fans should be excited. Defense looked good. Against like you said, these guys might not have a job in a couple of weeks, so you got to take it with a little grain of salt. But it was against the Panthers. But I think ultimately, Josh, the Pats fans should be excited about what's going on. I don't care, but I think they should be excited.
It's funny they had a really going bad day today. I think
here we go. This is the talking down.
This is the talk down. I think that they should be weary. Okay. I do. I think I'm not all Jacoby Brissett's fine. That's a bridge quarterback. You did what you had to do. I'm going to keep this short because I know we got to get to our bold takes. We still got some UFC stuff. But Joe Milton is just screaming Malik Cunningham for me. It's the preseason. He lights up the game against the arguably, if not the worst team in the National Football League. It's week 1. Everybody's rusty. Again, I know this is coming from the hatred Cowboys fan who Trey Lance didn't look well, so he's going to take it out on the Patriots. No, I think people need to be careful. This guy replaced Hendon Hooker. He was pretty solid. Before that, he was almost the reason why Harbaugh. He has not had a great college career. I just want to throw that one out there. And he is a 6th round pick for a reason. We know Drake May is the guy. He is the guy. Joe Milton is not the guy. Jacoby Brissett, he's just going to start for half the season, if not, and then Drake May comes in. I don't know what the hell they're doing with Bailey Zappi. It's just a complete waste of time. I think what you got to do, Ben, and I think you've kind of mentioned it, is just Jacoby done. Let him maybe one more series, but what are you wasting out there? You already know he's going to start for you. You don't want to injure him. Why not, like Ben's saying, why not have Drake May start just to give him a little bit of pressure there, let him feel it. Don't coddle him. Don't not throw him out there and baby him. You got to give him some experience. I would start him in this next game or even game 3. I'd cut ties with Bailey Zappi. It's just a complete friggin' waste of time. He's just essentially auditioning for another team. And you just let Joe Milton and Drake May kind of battle it out. Obviously, we know Drake May is going to be the second round is going to be the backup guy and is eventually, probably this season, you can bank on it that he will be starting at some point. But it's just like the Joe Milton stuff. I got my buddies telling me, let's just bench Drake May for a year and start Joe Milton. It's wild. This is what the Patriots fans do. They watch one game and everybody freaks out, and Joe Milton's the next guy. Bob Douglas is the next Deshaun Jackson. I don't know, Ben. I'm off on a tangent. They had a really bad day today at training camp, I guess. So
10 sacks
against the Eagles, pretty legitimate team now. We'll see what happens in this preseason game. Again, it's preseason, Ben. I'm not going to run around and, sing kumbaya if the Patriots do end up beating the Eagles in the preseason. But again, Drake May is the guy. Joe Milton is a guy, I guarantee you, who will be gone away from this team within the next 2 or 3 years. That's just my hot take. We're going hot takes.
Yeah, definitely. Like I said, I'm not going crazy with the Pats fans.
That's fine with me, Hostage. That totally fine.
Good one.
He can be the next.
I'm not saying go crazy with.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm not saying go crazy with them, but it's just a nice little fun piece. It sounds like a fun little piece for. That is me. Yeah, that is me. But I think for the Pats fans, I didn't really get that comment. Kind of strange comment, but no, Pats fans. Be excited. Have a little fun. You're going to be bad, but have a little fun with it.
So we're moving NFL bold takes here. James going to get all upset. He's copying me. This team is going to be legit. And this is a double bold take. They are loaded. And I don't mean loaded in the sense of like superstars everywhere. They're super balanced. They had a far run last year. Their quarterback threw 32 touchdowns last year, and I believe can win an MVP. If you would look, again, we're not a betting show. We're not going to get too much into it. But if you want some money to throw and you want to just maybe try and win a good buck here, you go with this quarterback. I know Ben's going to laugh. Everybody's going to laugh. He just got a recent extension. This team will finish in the top 2 within the NFC, if not better than the 49ers. I'm going to do it. I'm going to jump all on this hype train. The Green Bay Packers are the team to watch out for in the NFC. Weapons everywhere. Just like Christian Watson, Dobbs finally coming into himself. They've got the Wicks. Musgrave's great. They've got 2 solid tight ends, decent defense that can kind of Jair Alexander, who really came into himself and completely exposed my Cowboys. This team, he's gonna say he stole them. I'm not stealing them. I don't love them. I think this is a bold take from me. I think they win this division. I think everybody's talking about the Bears and Caleb Williams and Jared. The Bears have a good chance. No. It's his rookie season. The Lions are gonna come down from a little a crashing halt, and that's what's gonna happen. The Green Bay Packers are going to be elite. And I think Jordan Love has a very solid chance of winning MVP through 32 touchdowns and 11 interceptions last year. I think people forget it. They also added Josh Jacobs. They made a bunch of other moves on the defense. James going to say I'm stealing them. It's just a fact. I like it. And James, throw a bold take in, but I'm going to turn it to Ben. I'll turn it to Ben for his bold take. But yeah, Ben, I'm feeling – I don't want to feel green, but I'm feeling green for the Packers. I think they are a very balanced team.
I like it, Josh. Listen, that was a good one. I didn't think it was that hot. The Packers are one of the hottest teams out there. I think I like it, but I'm going to remember it. I like that one though. Josh, you're not going to like this one. This is the take I've been saying for a while. I'm going to keep it going, but we're going worst to first. We're going worst to first in the NFC East. Commanders. The Commanders are taking it, Josh. Give me them. I told them to get some of these pictures up. Everyone's going to laugh, but here he is, the future. Jane Daniels looking great so far. I think Jane Daniels had beefed up that offensive line. Dan Quinn coming over there will be a solid head coach. Took a center. Believe took the Cowboys center. One of them, Tyler Biades. I believe that was his last name. But Biotis. Thank you, Josh. But this guy right there too. Austin Eckler, Brian Robinson. Nice little 1-2 combo. You got McLaurin. I got the list right over here. Jahan Dotson. I forgot some of their wide receivers, but De'Ami Brown there. They just added Martavis Bryant too. Shout out Martavis Bryant. They just added him. over there. I'm not sure he's going to do anything. I just want to slip that in there. Say shout out Martavis, but he's going to give that he's going to give that defense a little stability too. Brought over a couple more Cowboys. He was just bringing over all the ex-Cowboys. Anybody, I like that from Jackson too. That's a good one. It's a good take, but Dan Quinn's going to implement that defensive, mindedness over there. He's a great defensive coach. He's going to let the offense do his thing. Like I said, he took all the Cowboys over there. They got nice continuity. A nice couple guys over there. So I think the Commanders are going to take that division, Josh. I know everyone's going to laugh. You got the Eagles and Cowboys contract years. Why aren't they going to go off? But I'm going worst to first. I got Commanders winning that NFC East. I think Eagles take a step back. I mean, Jalen Hurts doesn't even like his coach anymore. So you got to worry about that. And you never know about the Cowboys. Cowboys are always a little tricky because they're always pretty good in the regular season. But I don't know. I just feel something about this Commanders team. I think this new regime under Dan Quinn is going to be good. And Jaden Daniels already off to a solid start. I just like that offense, Josh. So I'm going Commanders. Worst to first. Bookmark it.
Hey, he's been saying it for a while. This isn't for the show. This isn't bits. He's been saying this for months now.
I just had to say it. I've been waiting for this.
If I am Jaden Daniels, this is probably one of the most desirable situations to land into as a rookie quarterback. So I'll give you that. We're running short on time. James saying, I agree with this. I think this could very well happen. Tough division for the Chargers, but they got to take that step at some point. James, Chargers win more games than the Jets this year. My bold take, Jets don't even make the playoffs. I'm going to throw that one out there. That wasn't my bold take for today, but here's my last one of the day. And I'm going to just go off a couple comments here because it rides right into my co-host slap. It rides right into a couple of the comments that have already been thrown out here. We've got Justin Fields beats out Russell Wilson and leads the Steelers to the playoffs with one. We've got, can he accurately throw the ball, though, hostage? We've also got, it's just, Jackson better than Russ, plus more mobility, new system benefits having him, plus Pickens makes a difference. I think what I've seen so far, Ben, I'm not in love with Justin Fields. I'm not in love with Russell Wilson. In how many years now, Ben, have the Steelers gone over 500? Can you throw that in there for me if you have it?
Well, we've been like 14.
They will go
a while
under 500. You guys will not make the playoffs. I'm sorry. It almost works. He had to go heel mode for the Commanders.
That's perfect.
I actually too. I've been a huge advocate for Ayuk going to the Patriots over the Steelers. I'm not in love with Pickens as much as everybody else. I know he went over for 1,000 yards. Najee Harris is not the guy we all thought he was. I think it is a recipe for disaster here in Pittsburgh. I don't hate the Justin Fields trade. I just don't think it's going to work out, Ben. I think that they're probably the third, maybe even least best team in their division. I'm going to go that far. Browns are sneaky good. We got to see them week 1. So, Ben, it's my bold take. Steelers don't make the playoffs, and I think there's a very solid chance they can finish 8-9, 7-10. Sorry.
He's killing me. He's killing me over there. He's killing me with that one. No, I don't think. I agree with Hostage Take too. No, that's not true. Everyone's just going after him just because of the fumbles. Listen, we'll give him a little chance. I don't know. Listen, here we go. Listen, it's fine, guys. It's fine. Listen, we'll get it. I mean, Fields didn't look too great. I can't lie. Fields did not look too great in that one. 2 fumbles off the bat. That's not what you really want to see from him. But I think in the system, like Hostage said, it's gonna benefit him. We got a lot more weapons over there. Let's start Russell. Let's let him do his thing, and then eventually let's get into the Fields experiment. I think we can ease into it, but. Yeah, I'm not going to obviously agree with Josh and his take and everything, but I can see it. I mean, it's a tough division. It's a tough division over there. We got the best division in football. It's obviously the NFC North taking a hit with the Vikings and everything. I think the AFC North is definitely the best division in football, but I'm not going to say I hate the take, Josh. I mean, you got the Browns surging, Ravens, Joe Burrow's back. It's a tough division. So, I can see it, but I'm not going to agree with it on that one. So, everything's valid, but everyone's being a little too harsh on Justin Fields.
That's a great compliment.
I like that. Yeah, thank you, Boo. Thank you, Boo. I like that. I like that from you, bud. I'm just going to throw my two quick. I had the last couple bold takes, Josh. I'll go fast with them. It was sort of another one. I think Jimmy said that one. Chargers more wins than the Jets. I got the Chargers going to the playoffs. Not too bold of a take, okay. I don't think, but I think kind of. I mean, with that wide receiver room looking depleted, probably the worst wide receiver room in the NFL. Got absolutely no help for Justin Fields. Got a nice little Joe Alt move. I love that move right over there. Get Joe Alt. They got that other kid out of Northwestern who's pretty good, Slater, I believe. So I mean, you got some guards, tackles, sort of help them out. You got the pillars over there to protect Herbert. Let's see if Herbert's an elite quarterback and can turn some of these guys, that the Chargers, have in the wide receiver room into studs. I mean, that's what you got to do as an elite quarterback. Brady did that for many years. You can't think of anybody about Big Ben. Big Ben did it for many years, turning all these guys into studs. So let's see if Herbert's one of those guys. Lamb McConkley is a good little pickup for them in the draft, so it'll be a nice little piece. But I think Herbert and Harbaugh are going to have a nice little mesh over there. Harbaugh's going to run the ball, going to get that run game going that he loves, and I think the Chargers make the playoffs. And remember this name too, Josh. Kobe Turner wins Defensive Player of the Year. Rams defensive tackle. Oh yes, this guy led the he was a rookie last year. Led the NFL, led all rookies with 9 sacks. Had the second most pressure as well. He was double teamed only to Quinn Williams. 17 pressures, 6 sacks while he was on quarterbacks who took 3 steps or less. So he gets after the quarterback pretty fast. Is what that stat says. And it's like I said, Aaron Donald, he's young. Aaron Donald leaving right over there. They need to fill that void. The Rams are going to be a good team. They're going to get shown a lot in the NFL. Everyone's going to know them. I think Kobe Turner is going to become a household name. So remember that one, Kobe Turner. If you already heard about him, I'm sorry, but I didn't really know he was that good until I started doing some research. So Kobe Turner, Defensive Player of the Year.
Kobe Turner, one of those. Wow, here we go.
Remember that, Josh.
Bold take. Rams, that's the team that just beat us in preseason. We're pretty much got to wrap up. Before we do, quick 305. Oh, yeah, he was 4 picks. Still beat us, though. Trey Lance couldn't get the win.
Yeah,
but 305, UFC 305 this weekend. 2 big fights here for me are Gamrot, Dan Hooker. Watch out for that. In Dricus Duplessis, whatever they want to call him, versus Izzy Adesanya, the style bender. I'm going to keep it short and sweet, man. I'm not going to go against my guy. I got Dricus. I got a couple side wagers on it. I think he's going to get the job done. I'm going to go Dricus. I think he's kind of a disrespected champ. A lot of people around me, not big fans of him, don't like the win. His most recent win, I'm blanking on the guy's name. What's his name?
Izzy. He beat Izzy. That was his last fight.
Was that? Why am I blanking?
Sean Strickland.
Sean Strickland, yes.
Strickland.
Excuse me. Yes, he beat him.
To be honest, I kind of forgot about that fight.
Yeah, it was kind of I mean, I thought he beat him. We're going to go back and forth, say Strickland won. But aside from that, I think Dricus gets the win, Ben. As always, want to thank everybody for tuning in. I'm going to hand it over to Ben. And, of course, we'll see you guys next week for another episode of Timeout Talks.
I always appreciate it, Josh. I always appreciate everybody. But, yeah, this card's really not good. I'm glad Josh shouted out that game or Dan Hooker one. Give me Dan Hooker in that one. That's going to be a really good one. But, yeah, obviously title fight too. Watch out for Carlos Paredes, too. He's going to start off the main card. Nice little young guy. And can Ty get back on track? So a couple other things to look forward to this card, but really it's just that Dricus and Izzy one. I'm going to back Josh too. Give me Dricus as well. I'm going to back him. And Josh, I'm going to end with this. Leave Fields alone. Give him some time.